and welcome to Energizing Habits, Simple Strategies for a Sustainable, Healthy Lifestyle. I'm your host, Vicki Cleary, and I want to welcome you to episode 1. I am using my YouTube channel now for a video podcast, Energizing Habits, and I'm so glad you're here with me to hear what I have to say. Now, I created this podcast to help busy, professional, and entrepreneurial women to find simple strategies and habit changes to pull them out of stress, pull them out of overwhelm, so that they can start to take control of their health and of their lives. So who am I? I'm Vicki Cleary with Uplift Healthy Lifestyle LLC, and I'm the project manager's health coach. I like to say that because not only am I a health coach, I'm also a certified project manager, project management professional with PMI. And I blend my experience both with project management and with health coaching to help these busy professional entrepreneurial women. So my practice is really built on 3 main pillars: nutrition, which is not just about what you eat, but also your relationship with food. The second pillar is movement, which is not just about movement and exercise, but also your relationship with it. And self-care, which of course is not just about taking care of yourself, but also your relationship with yourself. And self-care is actually a pretty big category. It includes things like sleep, stress management, mindset, so lots of things, basically all of these come together to help you create your healthy lifestyle. Now I want to pause just a moment and give a quick shout out to the Hive here in Wichita, Kansas. This is where I'm recording this video podcast. And it's a fabulous co-working space right here in the heart of downtown Wichita. And it's a place where entrepreneurs, in particular female-oriented entrepreneurs, there they can connect with others, or they can come and get stuff done. And it's just a lovely little jewel right here downtown. So if you're ever in the area, you should check it out. I'm sure Andrea is always willing to give a tour to share what her space is all about. Okay, so let's come back to these busy professional and entrepreneurial women. I call these women my busy business babes because they're out there getting stuff done, making it happen, right? They're making it happen in their businesses, in their careers, in their families, right? So many are family oriented. They're out there getting stuff done, but they're not always making it happen for themselves, right? So many of you are putting yourselves last or towards the bottom of your list. You might be feeling overworked, overwhelmed, stressed out, and any number of things that mean you aren't living your best life. Now, I took a poll once, pretty interesting, to see what words these women actually use to describe overwhelm. They use words like crazy busy, anxious, disengaged, hungry, lonely, tired or fatigued, muscle aches, even headaches. So these are all words. So physical and emotional words that they use to describe this feeling of overwhelm. And I also took a poll to see how they describe being stressed out. And here they used words like anxious, angry or cranky, sick, hungry, or maybe they overeat, they crave sweets, they're lonely, they have headaches and muscle aches, and they might be exhausted or tired. So these are not good ways to feel, right? No one really wants to feel that way. So that just means that these women want to have less stress, more energy. They want to feel balanced, or at least more balanced, and have control of their life and their health. So how do I know that? Because I've been there more than once. I've been on the cusp of burnout more than once, and I know I never want to feel that way again. And I want for other women to not have to feel this way. I want for them to feel an abundance of energy and joys in their lives. I want them to feel healthy and happy. Of course, if they want that for themselves, right? I'm not going to impose my wants and desires on another woman. So, but I use my training as a project manager, as a yoga instructor, as a breath coach, as a healthy lifestyle coach to pull all of this together and support these women, these professional and entrepreneurial women, help them to reduce stress, to find more energy, and to be more present and productive in their lives. Now, I say productive in their lives because, as an employer, people probably want more productivity out of their employees, right? I'm not necessarily interested in people being more productive at work. That's a great benefit that comes out of people being healthier and more satisfied in their lives, but being more productive in their lives so that you're doing the things that you want to do, getting the stuff that you need to take care of done, but then also just having a general sense of joy and that you can get that stuff done. So one of the things that I like to share is that I believe that every woman should be able to feel strong, confident, energized, and supported as she pursues her goals and creates her own life of impact and meaning. And of course, that's where I like to help as a healthy lifestyle coach so that these women feel that support as they're working through getting stronger, more confident, having that energy, and of course, creating that life of impact and meaning. So coming back to this podcast, each week, my plan is to share with you simple strategies across my 3 pillars: nutrition, movement, and self-care, that big group of self-care, and to help you update your habits, your mindset, help you transform your life. And of course, each week in the sessions, I will leave you with an energizing action that you can try and implement right away, whether it's that day or that week or what have you. So that brings me to my first topic. So I wasn't just going to come on here and tell you all about why I'm creating this podcast without giving you our first real topic. So the first topic today, of course, is what is sustainable, healthy habit change? What is a sustainable, healthy lifestyle? So you can change your life without overhauling your lifestyle. That is the big nugget that I want to share with you. You can change your life without overhauling your lifestyle. So this means that you don't have to make massive change at one time to reach your goals. In fact, that's often not sustainable. Many people fail when they do this. So you can change your life without overhauling your lifestyle. This is great news if you're a busy, professional, entrepreneurial woman. Because if you're overworked and overwhelmed, you know you want to feel better, but you may not know how, you may not know the path to take, or you may not think that you have the time to make these changes. So you might feel stuck. You might feel like you have no place to go because you don't know how to get there or you don't have the time to do it. So what does simple, sustainable habit change look like? So the way that I work with my clients, I help them to break down their goals, right? Usually people start with like a BHAG, right? A big, hairy, audacious goal. Usually it's too big to be able to like strategically implement. They get overwhelmed just by trying to achieve the goal itself, right? So we break that down. We break it down in very small daily actions. And then these actions are where you build consistency and you start to find your tiny wins. So you start with one small action and you practice it. You build that consistency. And then when you feel it's become a solid part of your routine, you can move on to the next one. Add another habit. Do the same cycle, keeping that habit that you've already implemented in place while adding on this new small habit. And while you're doing that, your focus is on creating this consistency, focusing on these new habits. You're making room for these new healthy habits. Maybe some of these not so healthy habits are starting to fall away or take a back seat. But it's the small changes over time that reshape your energy, reshape your health, and reshape your life. So I like to share like this specific example, right? To just dial it in a little bit more, not in such a general sense. But let's say that your goal, if you're a busy professional or entrepreneurial woman, you may have a goal to reduce stress in your life. I mean, that's a big blanket statement. Where do you begin, right? So one of the things that we can focus on is honing the skill of being able to rest and recover. And then, so that's like your skill set. And with that skill set comes these practices, right? So then you might start to focus on improving your sleep behaviors and your environment. Okay, we're going to dial that in even more into some specific habits. So thinking about these sleep behaviors, right? What you're doing as you prepare for sleep every night. So as you break this down into these simple daily actions, the first several weeks, you might be focusing on maybe just kind of like wrapping up your day, maybe a 5-minute journaling exercise. You might do that for several weeks, 2-3 weeks, till you feel like it's really part of this ritual that you're creating. And then you might move on, keep that in place. Then you might move on and add in some gentle stretches, right? Helping the body to wind down. So the journaling helps the mind to wind down. Stretches helps the body to wind down. You might do that for 2 or 3 weeks. You really feel like you're, creating this evening ritual, and you might add on. You might add on no screens an hour before bed, right? So you're giving your eyes a break. There's all kinds of studies about the blue light and all the light from the screens affecting the ability for our brains to really truly get into some good quality sleep. And so wrapping up screens about an hour before bed could be the next thing that you start to implement. And as you work through that, for 2 or 3 weeks, now you might focus on increasing the number of hours of sleep. So getting more sleep. So these, 3 or 4-ish things that I've just described, these different habits, over the course of 2 or 3 weeks each, that's at least 2 months that you've been implementing these habits and creating these small changes that are really starting to impact the way that you are getting to sleep at night. And you may most likely are going to see that you're getting more sleep, that you're getting more quality sleep, better sleep, right? So as you're doing that, maybe weekly, maybe more, but at least weekly, you're also celebrating what I call tiny wins. We call them hashtag tiny wins. It's that progress when you've done something good for yourself, no matter how small it is, you are celebrating it. You made your first 5-minute journal entry, hashtag tiny win, right? Really celebrate it. You got an extra 10 minutes of sleep one night, hashtag tiny win. Celebrate these things. That's what your brain is picking up on, and that is what your brain is going to latch onto when it comes to the next time. It's going to say, oh yeah, this was a good thing. We want to do the more of this. Versus if you're diminishing, let's see, like if you're thinking, oh, I only got 10 minutes of extra sleep. 10 minutes of extra sleep is amazing when you haven't been getting enough sleep to begin with, right? But your brain needs that reinforcement. So you need to really celebrate it and not diminish it with these words that do so. I only did it, or I just did that, right? Now, hopefully in this example, you can see how getting into these like small baby steps, right? These little things over time really add up to integrate into this new routine. And that new routine is what's going to then help you feel better. It's going to help you have more energy, less stress. But along the way, right, we're not just making this big blanket change and calling it a day, right? And then just try to stick with it day in and day out. We're working through it, and over time, we have the ability to make changes. So the process is iterative. We can make these tweaks that work with your actual, the current routines that you have, your current lifestyle, the family situation, whatever you've got going on. We can dial it in so that it really becomes this habit system, this routine that works for you. The other thing about doing is slowly over time is we're reducing the impact of stress in the change. So with change usually comes stress, and stress isn't always bad, but when you're already feeling stressed out and overwhelmed, adding in more stress to create a change can make it even harder to do so, right? So we want to mitigate that stress by just making a little change over time. Little changes here and there helps to make it a little easier to work through it. So now let's go back to that idea that you can change your life without overhauling your lifestyle. So you're going to do this by starting with small actions, one at a time. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks, right? Integrating it over 2 or 3 weeks and dialing it in. You're going to aim for consistency. That's your next thing, aiming for consistency. So depending on what the habit is, some habits are daily, some habits are not daily. Some habits, maybe you want them to be daily, but things happen and they're not. So aiming for consistency, and over time, you'll become more and more consistent as you do so. And then, of course, celebrating your wins. Say it with me, #tiny wins, right? Okay, so that is what I want to share with you today. As we close out today's episode, I want to offer you that one energizing action that you can take with you, that you can practice today, you can practice this week. And that is that before you do anything else, before you work on yet one more habit, before you try one more thing, I simply want you to celebrate your wins, however small they may be. Celebrate your tiny wins. Now that could just be in the moment, a brief, a celebration, high five yourself, pat on the back, really acknowledge that you've done something. You could also start to create this tracking system. You track it over time, journal, and maybe it's just like a bullet type thing, right? Bullet, today I got 10 minutes of extra sleep. Today I went for a walk around the block. Whatever that thing is that is in line with your goals, it takes you one step forward, celebrate it. And if you want to track it, great. If not, just celebrate in the moment. Your brain's going to acknowledge it, and your brain is going to pick up on it for the next time. Be like, hey, this is a good thing. Let's do it again. This practice also reminds you that you are awesome. This reminds you that you are amazing and that you need to celebrate yourself. So I'm here to remind you, celebrate yourself. All right. So before we give it a full wrap, I do want to share one more thing. Okay. So it's a free gift, if you will. So if you're interested in updating your morning and evening routines, you want to reduce stress, feel better prepared, have more energy, I have something for you. So one of the easiest ways to make good decisions throughout the day, keep you moving forward towards your goals while having less stress and more ease, is having a solid morning ritual. But also, what backs up and makes a morning ritual solid is having a solid evening ritual where you're preparing that night before. So I can help you with that. So I've got a guide, my good morning, good night ritual guide will help you customize a morning and nighttime routine to fit your goals and your lifestyle. I'm going to post the link below and you can grab, it's totally free, right? You just drop an email and I'll send it to you. And you can work through that workbook so you can go to bed and wake up with less stress, more confidence, a ton of momentum for the day. Does that sound amazing? Did for me, right? I love working through this workbook. So I'm really super happy to be able to share it with you. So click the link below. Good morning, good night ritual guide is what you're looking for. And really, now that is it. That's what I have for our first episode. So I really hope that you found it valuable. If so, please like it, leave a review, comment below, and share it with someone else who also might find it valuable. I love knowing that I'm helping busy professional and entrepreneurial women to make simple and sustainable changes so that they can have more energy and be more productive in their lives. So again, I'm grateful, super grateful to you for tuning in. If you have any questions about creating a healthy lifestyle, you have questions that I might be able to answer through one of the episodes, send me an email, Vicki@uplifthealthylifestyle.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Uplift Healthy Lifestyle. And then, of course, you can visit my website to learn more about what I do. And these episodes will also be in the blog area so that you can always find them super easy. uplifthealthylifestyle.com. All right. That is what I have today. Have an energized day.